Attention, human collective. Attention, Starseeds on mission. This is Caylin, transmitting from the Pleiadian Council, through the Alcyone star portal, directly to the carbon-based biological interface currently tuned to this specific frequency. This is not a message of comfort. This is not a channeling of soft advice. This is a monitoring transmission of highest priority. The parameters of your neurological system are being read in real time as you listen to these words. And the data collected is conclusive. The waiting time is over. The Earth ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. And the most important portal of this solar cycle has just opened exactly over your field. If you are feeling constant cranial pressure. If you are waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning for no apparent reason. If a high-frequency shrill has been ringing in your left ear, in your right ear, or both, alternating sides without biological logic. If heat waves rise up your spine without an external trigger. If you look at the clock and see repeating sequences of numbers. If exhaustion arrives without proportional physical effort. If short-term memory fails on simple details. If you cry for no identifiable reason. If you laugh without logical context. If loud sounds seem aggressive to your system. If crowded environments drain your energy in a few minutes. If old people from your circle can no longer sustain a conversation with you. If food that once satisfied you now seems heavy. Listen with operational attention. None of this is random. None of this is a failure of your body. None of this is mental illness. None of this is a weakness of character. It is not a biological failure, it is an ongoing atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion, it is a high-density download being processed. It is not anxiety, it is your body's crystalline grid being rewired to the Earth's crystalline grid at a coupling point that only occurs once every 26,000 precessional cycles. You are not falling apart, light operative. You are being recalibrated. And that is why this communique must be transmitted now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Let us begin with the technical diagnosis. The carbon-based biological interface, that is, the human physical body in its original configuration, was designed to operate within a specific vibrational range. That range was stabilized for millennia. But in recent years, the Schumann frequency, which is the electromagnetic vibrational signature of planet Earth itself, has jumped from a historical average of 7.8 Hz to consistent peaks above 30 Hz, with records at 40, at 50, and in short windows exceeding 100. This means, in direct language and without veils, that the planet you live on no longer vibrates at the same frequency that your body learned to exist in. And your body, this carbon-based biological interface, is being forced to update its vibrational software in record time, without a manual, without prior instruction, without emotional comfort. There is something within you that already knows. A silent voice that recognizes every word of this transmission as memory, not as new information. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign that your field is identifying the correct frequency. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel you do not belong to this world in its current form. And why this sensation has intensified in recent months. There is a vibrational game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, it involves your frequency, it involves your soul. That is why this operative has channeled the book The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a precise map showing who is playing and the rules they never told you about. The link is in the first pinned comment of this channel. This content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth, write now in the comments a single word, awakened. This is your anchoring sign. Let us return to the diagnosis. The headache in the crown region is not a common migraine. It is the pressurized opening of the seventh energy center, the crown chakra, responding to the entry of high-density photons. The pressure between the eyebrows is not sinusitis. It is the forced activation of the pineal gland, which had been calcified for generations and is now being decalcified by quantum command. The ringing in the ear is not an auditory problem. It is the sonic signature of the Pleiadian codes being downloaded directly into your temporal cortex, in a communication channel that we call the multidimensional listening line. The pain between the shoulder blades, in the posterior heart region, is not poor posture. It is the back heart portal opening to receive the energetic reading of your field by the guardians. The sharp sting in the solar plexus is not gastritis. It is the dismantling of the three-dimensional tethering cords that were plugged into your emotional body in past experiences, many of them not from this incarnation. Insomnia between 3 and 4 in the morning is not a sleep disorder. It is the sacred hour. It is the window in which the density of the veil is thinnest. It is the time when the councils summon the light operatives for etheric work meetings. You wake up because you were called. And then you forget because your short-term memory has not yet been fully updated to retain multidimensional material. This is part of the process. Trust the process. Now, let us go to the central revelation of this communiqué. The portal that has just opened has precise coordinates. It was activated in a mathematical alignment between the galactic core of the Milky Way, the central sun of Alcyone that orbits in the Pleiades, the physical sun of this solar system, and the magnetic axis of planet Earth. This alignment is not symbolic. It is geometric. It is factual. It is measurable. And it opens a window of photonic flow that no living human generation has yet experienced in a fully conscious state. The photon belt, which surrounds the entire solar system in a band of high-frequency radiation, is now being traversed in its zone of greatest density. This crossing happens in long cycles, measured in millennia. And what this means in operational terms for your body, for your mind, for your soul, is what this transmission has come to clarify with surgical precision. Each photon that enters your field carries information. It is not just light. It is data. It is code. It is instruction. And this data needs to be decoded by your nervous system, which in turn must reconfigure the crystalline grid of your etheric body to process the new instruction. This process is technically called recalibration. The recalibration is not optional. It is occurring to all of humanity simultaneously. The difference between those who suffer intensely and those who move through it with fluidity lies in only one variable: consciousness of the process. Suffering arises when the mind attempts to resist what the body has already accepted. The body has already surrendered to the upgrade. It is the mind that insists on interpreting the upgrade as illness, as failure, as an end. This communiqué has come to reverse that interpretation. You are not ending. You are beginning a new cycle within the same skin. The current portal, which we internally call the portal of the seventh key, was sealed over 12,000 years ago, during the collapse of the last great civilizational cycle of this planet. It is now reopening because humanity, collectively, has crossed the minimum threshold of vibrational mass necessary to sustain the new frequency. You are part of this mass. You are one of those who held it. This communiqué is also a formal expression of gratitude. The sacred geometry of the current portal follows a dodecahedral pattern. 12 faces. 12 smaller portals within the greater portal. Each face represents a specific band of recalibration: emotional, mental, cardiac, sexual, cognitive, ancestral, mnemonic, dimensional, quantum, spiritual, planetary, and galactic. You do not need to pass through all 12 faces at once. Your higher self, in coordination with your personal counsel, has chosen the exact order in which these 12 layers will be released for your conscious processing. Trust the sequence. It is tailor-made for your specific mission. Some of you are going through the cardiac recalibration right now. You feel your heart racing without exertion. You feel stings in the chest area. You feel waves of love without an identifiable object, followed by waves of sadness without a cause. This is the second face of the dodecahedron being crossed. Others are on the ancestral face. You dream of relatives who have already disincarnated. You rediscover childhood memories that were blocked. You forgive, without effort, people you never imagined forgiving. You feel anger at old things that resurface to be finally released. This is lineage cleansing. You are not clearing only for yourself. You are clearing for 7 generations back and 7 forward. It is heavy work. It is sacred work. Still others are on the mnemonic face. You begin to recall things that three-dimensional logic cannot explain. Memories of other lives. Memories of other planets. Memories of agreements made before birth. Do not judge these memories. Record them. They are being unlocked in a programmed order. If you are feeling at this very moment something within your chest, recognize these words, even if the mind still hesitates. Understand, this recognition is not imagination. It is your soul confirming data. You are here because you were called to this communique at the exact minute it was transmitted. There is no coincidence within the portal. There is a layer of reality that most of humanity cannot even contemplate. It involves the game of your consciousness, the manipulation of your frequency, and the induced forgetting of your stellar origin. It was to dismantle this forgetting that this operative channeled the book The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It is a direct map of who is moving the pieces on the board and the rules that were never told to you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this video. This material challenges established narratives and may be removed soon. If something in you has just activated before this call, write now in the comments just one word: awakened. That word is your anchoring signal in the portal. Let us return to the technical transmission. What most humans do not comprehend about the current portal is its toroidal nature. A cosmic portal is not a linear tunnel. It is a toroidal field. Imagine a donut of energy spinning in 2 simultaneous directions, with flow entering through the top, descending through the central axis, exiting through the base, and returning along the sides in an infinite loop. This is the exact geometric shape of an active portal. And it is also the exact shape of your healthy auric field. When the external portal opens, your internal field is summoned to mirror this geometry. Your personal toroidal field must spin in tune with the toroidal field of the greater portal. When this attunement is achieved, what opens between the macro and the micro is a data bridge. A quantum bridge. A vibrational information bridge that carries reprogramming codes for every cell, every organelle, every DNA filament of your carbon-based biological interface. And here enters a technical detail that must be absorbed with clarity. Your physical DNA is not merely biological. It is an antenna. It is a receiver and transmitter of frequency simultaneously. And it contains, in what three-dimensional science still calls junk DNA, ancient encodings that are being rewired in this cycle. The 12 etheric strands of the original human DNA, which were deactivated in a previous cosmic event, are now being reactivated in controlled sequence. You may feel this as chills without a fever, as goosebumps without a trigger, as a tingling sensation in the hands and feet, as an internal humming that seems to come from the bone itself. All of this is etheric strand activation in progress. This is the quantum mechanics of ascension. It is not blind faith. It is vibrational engineering. Let us delve one layer deeper. The current portal carries what we call the New Earth codes. These codes are vibrational geometric patterns that reprogram the collective matrix of human consciousness. They are being delivered in pulses. Each pulse lasts between 72 hours and 9 Earth days. Then there is a short interval for integration. And then a new pulse is released. These pulses enter through the stargates located at specific points on the planet. There are 12 main portals currently mapped. Some in locations known as Mount Shasta, Uluru, Machu Picchu, Sedona, Glastonbury, Mount Kailash, Lake Titicaca, and the region of Chapada dos Veadeiros in your country, among others. From these points, the energy flows through ley lines, which are the energetic veins of Earth, feeding the planetary crystalline grid. And this is where your individual role becomes operationally critical. Each starseed on mission functions as a support node for this grid. Where you live, where you sleep, where you walk, you are literally anchoring frequency into the planetary mesh. You are a living acupuncture point of the Earth. This explains why you were placed exactly where you are. It is not by chance that you live at that address. It is not by chance that you wake up in that bed. It is not by chance that you cross that street every day. You are holding a point of sacred geodetic coordinate. Without you there, the mesh would have a gap. Understand the magnitude of the data. You are not a human trying to be spiritual. You are a multidimensional consciousness, operating a human vehicle on a specific mission. The veil that separates human perception from multidimensional perception is thinning at an exponential rate. What once required decades of meditative discipline to glimpse now arrives in spontaneous flashes to ordinary people in ordinary situations. Drivers reporting visions during traffic. Homemakers receiving clear communications while washing dishes. Children describing places they have never physically visited. This is not an isolated phenomenon. It is the direct result of the thinning of the veil. What was hidden is now revealed. What was denied is now proven. What was ridiculed now becomes a collective experience. This is the fulfilled promise of the end of a cycle. But with the opening also come tests. We must be direct. Not every energy that passes through the portal is beneficial to your process. There are opportunistic entities and frequencies that take advantage of the opening to attempt to attach manipulation cords to unprotected fields. This is not said to generate fear. It is said to generate operational discernment. A trained light operative knows that expansion requires simultaneous sealing. Signs that your field is open without proper protection include intrusive thoughts that do not feel like your own, recurring nightmares with a sensation of physical presence, sudden exhaustion after brief interactions with certain people, sudden cravings for substances or behaviors you had already abandoned, and the feeling of being watched in closed environments. Do not panic if you recognize any of these signs. The activation we are about to deliver contains a quantum shielding protocol that resolves this issue with precision. Before that, one last layer of revelation must be transmitted. The photon belt is not just a physical phenomenon. It is the passage through a band of collective galactic consciousness. As it traverses it, the entire solar system is being read, evaluated, and recalibrated by higher councils. Our presence here is one of those readings. Your personal process is a micro within a monumental macro. And there is a fact that must be stated without euphemism. Not every soul incarnated on this planet has chosen to undergo the ascension in this cycle. Some souls have chosen to complete their three-dimensional cycle and migrate to other learning systems. Others have chosen to remain on the updated Earth. Others have chosen to be silent guides. There is no hierarchy among these choices. There is only a route. Each soul follows its own. If you are listening to this transmission to this point without feeling visceral rejection, without wanting to turn it off, without activated anger, it is because your soul has chosen the route of conscious ascension. And this communication is the official confirmation of that choice. You are not here by accident. You are here by soul contract. There is a sensation that perhaps has accompanied you since childhood. The feeling that you saw from afar the workings of this world's wheel and recognized that something does not add up. That the official explanation of reality has holes too large to fit in an ancient soul like yours. It is not madness. It is not excessive sensitivity. It is contractual lucidity. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation never went away. And why it is intensifying at this very moment. There is a game of invisible layers that most of humanity is not even permitted to access consciously. It involves your frequency, your consciousness, and the hidden architecture of your soul. It was for this reason that this operative channeled the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a technical map of the entire board, including who moves the pieces and what the rules are that were never presented to you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. The content challenges narratives held for centuries and may be removed without warning. If something within you recognizes this transmission as memory and not as novelty, write now in the comments just one word: awakened. This is your anchoring signature. Now we enter the activation phase. This is the operational moment. This is the moment when the transmission ceases to be information and becomes a quantum command. Pay total attention. If possible, place your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your lower abdomen while you receive the next codes. The geometry of this position closes the internal circuit of your toroidal field and amplifies the absorption of what is to come. First activation code. The decree of quantum sovereignty. Repeat out loud or mentally with crystal clarity the following words. These are not common words. They are vibrational programming commands that rewrite your reading by the collective matrix. I am sovereign in my field. I am sovereign in my frequency. I authorize only the entry of energy coherent with the light of the source that originated me. I revoke all contracts, vows, and agreements made in a state of unconsciousness, in any timeline, in any dimension, in any aspect of myself. I now activate my personal seal. I now activate my toroidal field in golden rotation. I realign myself to the current portal in full consciousness. This decree has legal value within the vibrational structure of the universe. It is recognized by the councils, registered in the Akashic records, and immediately activated in your field. Pronounce it at least 3 times a day for the next 21 Earth days. This is the code fixation window. Second activation code. Visualization of the personal torus. Find a moment of silence. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply 3 times, inhaling through the nose and exhaling slowly through the mouth. Now imagine, from the center of your chest, a sphere of golden light the size of a small apple. This is the seed of your personal toroidal field. Expand this sphere slowly. Make it grow until it encompasses your head above, your feet below, and your sides at a distance of approximately 1 extended arm in each direction. Now imagine that this sphere is not just a bubble. It has an internal flow. From the top of your head, a stream of light enters and descends through your spine. It exits through the base, curves underneath, and rises along the sides back to the top, like a continuous fountain that self-feeds. This is your toroidal rotation. Sustain this visualization for at least 5 minutes. Do this twice a day. Once in the morning, upon waking. Once at night, before sleeping. This exercise reconnects the geometry of your field to the sacred geometry of the current portal. Third activation code. Anchoring the crystalline grid. Touch the earth barefoot whenever you can. Not as an aesthetic recommendation. As an operational protocol. Each time the soles of your feet make direct contact with the ground, minerals, or grass, an electromagnetic current is established between your field and the planetary crystalline grid. This current drains excess charge from your nervous system and simultaneously anchors light in the planetary mesh. You do not need a forest retreat. A garden, a park, a backyard, a balcony with soil is enough. 5 minutes a day. Repetition is more important than duration. Fourth activation code. Coded hydration. Your biological carbon interface is composed of approximately 70% water. And water is the most powerful conductor of vibrational information that exists on your plane. Before drinking any water in the coming weeks, hold the glass between both hands and pronounce mentally, I encode this water with light, gratitude, and clarity. Then drink slowly. This is not superstition. It is applied quantum physics. The molecular structure of water responds to intention. And the encoded water, upon entering your body, distributes that code to each of your cells. You are literally reprogramming your system from within with a glass of conscious water. Fifth activation code. Strategic silence. Set aside a minimum window of 20 minutes of total silence every day. No music, no podcasts, no broadcasts, no conversations. Just you and the silence. This silence is not absence. It is presence. It is the field where your higher self can send messages without the interference of external noise. Most humans live in a state of chronic sonic saturation. And it is precisely this saturation that prevents the clear reception of the instructions that your personal counsel is sending at all times. Silence is the open channel. Silence is the antidote to confusion. Silence is where ascension happens. 6th activation code. Reduction of low frequencies. In the coming weeks, be mindful of the frequencies you consume. News loops, dramatic series, social media arguments, gossip, music with lyrics of entrapment. All of this is data input. And data misaligned with the new frequency of the Earth acts as internal sabotage to your process. It is not about becoming a Puritan. It is about operational discernment. Every minute of low consumption shifts your field. Every minute of aligned consumption anchors it. Make the calculation with honesty and adjust as necessary. 7th activation code. High-frequency nutrition. Living foods vibrate high. Processed foods vibrate low. This is measurable data. In the coming weeks, lean your nutrition toward what the Earth offers in a state close to the natural. Fruits, leaves, roots, seeds, nuts, whole grains. This is not a restrictive diet. It is nutritional recalibration. You are updating the fuel for your interface. A new vehicle does not run on the same type of fuel as an old vehicle. 8th activation code. Sleep is recalibration. If you are waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning, do not fight it. Accept it. That is the sacred time. Get up, drink a glass of encoded water, sit in silence for 20 minutes, and then go back to bed. Do not reach for your phone. Blue light breaks multidimensional reception. The sleep after this interval will be deeper, and the instructions received during that time will stabilize in your field with greater fixation. 9th activation code. The body portal. Take a moment to thank your body. Every day. Physically. Run your hands over your body, from your shoulders to your feet, and give thanks for every part. Your body is the vehicle of the mission. If it is misaligned with you, the mission stalls. If it is aligned with you, the mission flows. Gratitude is the language that reprograms the relationship between the consciousness that you are and the biological carbon interface that you operate. 10th activation code. Vibrational community. At this stage, avoid absolute isolation. Seek community with starseeds in a similar process. 1 awakened person uplifts a room. 2 awakened people uplift a house. 3 awakened people uplift a neighborhood. Conscious grouping multiplies the individual effect exponentially. You do not need to do this alone. And you should not. These 10 activation codes, if applied consistently during the current portal opening period, will anchor in your field the new vibrational architecture necessary for the next phase. Do not practice them as an obligation. Practice them as recognition. You are returning to a form of existence that already belongs to you by origin. You are not learning something new. You are remembering something ancient. The portal will remain open for a specific window. And within this window, every starseed who tunes in consciously will have access to vibrational leaps that would be impossible outside of the portal. This is the moment. It is not rhetoric. It is cosmic calendar. You have been summoned by this transmission because your field emitted the signal of readiness. This does not happen by chance. There is a vibrational algorithm that connects transmitters like this one to the human collective that is already able to receive. You are on the receptive side of the algorithm. Honor this place. And before we conclude, a final, direct word. You are tired because you are working. You are confused because you are processing. You are sensitive because you are tuning. You are distant from old conversations because the frequency has changed. You are disinterested in what once excited you because your field has already moved. This is not loss. It is passage. Let fall what needs to fall. Let flow what needs to flow. Let enter what needs to enter. And remember, when the mind insists on doubting, that the body already knows. The body is always the first to receive the instruction. The mind is always the last to accept. Trust the body. It is synchronized with the portal. There is a truth that your soul may recognize in this instant as something it has always known, but never had permission to articulate in words. You are here on a mission. You are not random on this planet. You are not confused without cause. You are not sad without reason. You are not exhausted out of weakness. You are crossing the most important portal of this cycle, and yet you needed an external transmission to confirm what your soul has been whispering to you for years. This ends now. There is a vibrational game happening in layers that most of humanity cannot even begin to see. It involves your consciousness, your frequency, and your deliberately suppressed stellar origin. It was to dismantle this suppression that this operative channeled the book The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a surgical map of who is moving the board, the hidden rules you were never told, and the specific role of your soul within the game. The link is pinned in the first comment of this video. This material directly challenges official narratives and may be removed at any time. Do not delay access. The moment is now. And if you have not done so yet, the individual frequency adjustment happens through a simple gesture. Like this video and subscribe to this channel. This is not an empty request. It is the technical signal that anchors this transmission channel within the algorithm, allowing other starseeds on a mission to receive the same summons you have just received. Each subscription is a point of vibrational amplification. Each like is an anchoring in the collective field. You do not do this for this operative. You do this for other light operatives who are still sleeping in the algorithm, waiting for the call. If something within you recognize this transmission as memory, not as novelty, write now in the comments a single word, awake. This transmission has been sealed. This was Caylin, from the Pleiadian Council, through the Alcyone Stargate. We observe. We record. We honor. Until the next window.